Hello everyone! I am very glad to tell you that I am already on the 5th module of my Certificate of Teaching program for DOST-Scholar teachers in PNU under College of Flexible Learning. So in Module 5, it mainly focuses on the assessment and evaluation of learning. As I continue to explore this module, I learned about the portfolio-based assessment and performance-based assessment. So in exploring or further discovering this topic, we did a worksheet or an activity with the title Scoring Rubric. So let us learn more on how we did our activity for this worksheet. So what is rubric and what is the purpose of rubric? So in performance assessment or portfolio-based assessment, the main task is to create a product or demonstrate a skill in contextualized in authentic situation. So how are we gonna grade or monitor the progress of our students in these activities? Rubric will serve as scoring guide or key to corrections by providing a set of guidelines or descriptions in scoring different levels of performance or qualities of products of learning. It can be also used in scoring both the process and the products of learning. So what are the different types of the rubric? There is an holistic rubric, another type is the analytic rubric, and another type is a combination of the both, and a holistic rubric. So in our activity, what we did is an analytic type of rubric, wherein you will see later on as I discuss the further details of our worksheet. So these are the steps that we did in constructing our rubric. Step 1 is that we choose a learning competency from the curriculum guide. Step 2 is we describe the task to be performed by the students either individually or as a group. And step 3, we develop an analytic scoring rubric. And for the step 4, we use the template being given by our facilitator. So this is the worksheet number 1, scoring rubric. Yes, you see it right. I am not alone in doing this rubric, but we are group and we did a collaborative effort. And my members came from the different regions. They are also DOST-Scholar teachers coming from the different provinces of the Central Luzon. So the online application that we used in order to have a collaborative group or work is a Google Docs. So now, let us see our work. And now here it is, our output for worksheet number 1, scoring rubric. So as I mentioned a while ago, I and my group mates follow the different steps given to us by our facilitator. So for the step number 1, which is a learning competency from the curriculum guide, yes, we did that. And this rubric is for the research writing of review of related literature and studies, and the subject that we chose was practical research 2 of grade 12, and it is under quarter 1 with the topic the review of literature and studies. So for the step number 2, we describe the task to be performed by the students either individually or as a group. So the performance task and the performance standard can be seen or we obtain that in the curriculum guide. It is already given. So we just copied that. So the performance standard is the learner is able to present objectively written reviews of related literature, and the performance task is that writing of related literatures and studies for your study. So we also give description to the performance task that the students will do. So the learners will read related literatures about the topic, select a maximum of 5 literatures and studies that are related and give additional information about the study, and write the selected literature using word processing software or yellow paper for the output, and the deadline of the activity will be the end of the module. So, for the step number 3, we are already on the step number 3. We developed an analytic rubric or scoring rubric. As I said a while ago, what we used in our activity is an analytic rubric because it is more detailed and each component will be weighed and graded. So, in the rubric, for the analytic rubric, it must contain the desired learning outcome, instructions, criteria, performance levels, performance descriptors, weighted grade, and the scoring guide. So, here is the scoring guide. For the rater or evaluator, write the rating or score under the weight column. The weighted grade column will be the product of the rating score and the weight percentage. Get the sum of the weighted grade and write it on the box after the total. For the interpretation, a total weighted grade of 3.5 is equivalent to 95, 3.64, 96, and so on. The same equivalent grade is to be used for the scores between 1 to 4. So, this is the rubric template that we did and that we formulated under the guidance of our professor, Ma'am Annalyn Bitwin. So, there are 4 components that we planned or decided to indicate in this rubric template for the practical research tool under the topic RRL. So, the component that we indicated are the quality of information, content organization, the sources of formatting, and mechanics. And each component have different percentage. So, the highest percentage will be given to the component that must be needed to see on the output of the students. So, the 50% will be given to the quality of information because it is more of that. It is what we need to see on the output of the students. The content organization with the 30%, and sources of formatting 20%, and the mechanics is 10%. So we can see also here the performance levels and the performance descriptors. So this is the descriptor and this is the performance level indicated in each component. So our levels of performance says are excellent, very good, and need improvement. And each component, there is corresponding area for the weight and weighted grade wherein once the student's output will be evaluated, this is the area wherein we will use to put our scores. So in each component, there are different criteria being given. So as you can see, I think it's no longer needed for me to read one, but there are 3 components being given for the quality of information. Once all these criteria will be satisfied by the student's output, they will be given 4. And in content organization also, there are 4 criteria that should be met by the students. And in the sources of formatting, the only criteria is that it should follow the proper way of APA formatting, as well as in the mechanics, the only criterion is that there is no error in grammar, spelling, or punctuation. As it goes on, if there are 1 or 2 criteria that will not be met by the students, they will be graded according to the performance levels appropriate to their output. And that's the summary of our output in practical research 2. And this rubric template underwent to scrutiny and more detailed evaluation of our group mates. We did assure that this rubric template is aligned to the competency as well as the learning objective that I discussed a while ago.